We're taking another look at the 2025 recruiting class, and we got a battle of the 5-star wide receivers. Let me know who you like most in the comments below and why. But today, we're looking at 5-star wide receiver Dakorien Moore from Oregon versus Kaliq Lockett, 5-star wide receiver from Texas. We're going to be looking at their scouting profiles, how they're rated, how they're ranked, the offers, butting them up against each other, and then also their highlights, a little bit of each to get a good look at both these players. And then we're going to talk about them afterwards. But before we begin, you need to click that subscribe button right now, because we're talking about the 2025 recruiting class every single day this offseason, player by player. You need to know what these players look like before they hit the field, before they start making plays for your team. Click that button, stop missing out. Ric Flair's watching. You do not want to disappoint Ric Flair. We're starting off with the On3 rankings. And with their On3 rankings here, we got 1 versus 2 among the wide receiver rankings. Overall, they got Dakorien Moore 5 overall. However, Lockett's at 20, but they're both up there. Moore 5'11", 186. Lockett 6'1.5", 175. Those are dated. Those are during the recruiting process, but still numbers to look at. Going over to 24/7 Sports, they have both these guys as 5-star wide receivers. Just like On3, 1 versus 2. In the rankings, they got Moore ranked 9th overall, and the composite has him at 4. Lockett's at 21 overall and 18 overall when it comes to the rankings and composite. They're both up there. The listed heights and weights are similar to On3. And these are 2 top-tier wide receivers in the 2025 recruiting class. The offers can tell you the story of the market of college football for the players. How much did these teams wanted these players? 33 offers for Dakorien Moore versus 31 for Kaliq Lockett. 24/7 Sports does not always or doesn't usually update their numbers, so it's probably more than that. But honestly, we get a decent look at it from here. But look at the schools for both these players. Oregon, Texas, LSU, Ohio State, Alabama. For Lockett, Texas, Alabama, Florida State, TAMU, LSU. Big-time programs. The wide receiver U's one of them. The big-time schools one of them. On top of that, small schools one of these guys as well. When I look at the offers here, it's tight. It's tight when I'm looking at this as a battle. If anything, this says these are 2 very good wide receiver prospects. College football wanted them very badly. These schools were battling for these guys, and Oregon and Texas landed them. Looking at Dakorien Moore's scouting report, they have him compared to Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks, coming out of college, twitched up wide receiver, creates separation, good hands, very reliable. He was traded multiple times in the NFL for a first-round pick. That is very hard to do. He was drafted in the first round. When you look at the scouting report, they're saying he's very productive. He's a demon after the catch. Elite track times, 10.4. Ran in the 200s. Very effective. Can play beyond the size. Good 50-50 ball guy. Has a good expanded route tree. Very sneaky with his explosiveness. He's also very sudden. And Dakorien Moore's got a lot of upside. And when you're looking at the scouting report, it's very encouraging. Looking at Kaliq Lockett's scouting report, he's compared to Romeo Doubs. Romeo Doubs can make plays downfield. He can create separation downfield. And he's a guy that can really get behind the defense and push it up with the vertical. First round projection for Kaliq Lockett. They're saying he's a lean, angular, athletic receiver, narrow build, has good ball skills, wins on the contested catch throws, has good body control, good spatial awareness, very productive, combines toughness and athleticism, may lack the highest gear compared to elite receivers, but has routine ball skills and a good frame, capable of getting early snaps at a major collegiate program like Texas. Again, this is another wide receiver with a lot of upside. The stats don't tell the whole story for college prospects, but it kind of gives you a little picture of what could potentially happen. The thing about Dakorien Moore, we are balling out. We are productive. 74 catches last year, 71 the year prior, 1,500 yards and 1,400 yards. We are maxing out the productivity at the high school level. That's a good indicator and a prerequisite to what we could be possibly seeing at the college level. It's really hard to break out at the college level if you weren't productive at the high school level. It just doesn't make sense. And now you're looking at Kaliq Lockett, We have a 59 catch season, 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns to her name. 2024 is a little bit lighter, still productive. Dak Moore's production is hard to match with a lot of wide receivers. We almost had 20 touchdowns last year in the receiving game. This guy's very electric, very explosive. Lockett, compared to most wide receivers, is up there, though. Both these guys were very productive at the high school level, especially when you look at Lockett's 2023 season. Now it's time to look at the tape. We're going to start off with 3 minutes of clips of Dakorien Moore, looking at his skill set, looking at what he does on the field. I've covered both these wide receivers multiple times on the channel, so I know a little bit about them. But if this is your first look, you're going to see two very good wide receivers. Once we're done with Dak, we'll do Lockett, and then we'll talk about what we found from the tape. 3 minutes of clips, here we go. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right now because we're looking at these players all off season long. We're learning about this class all off season long, one way or another. Explosive playmaker, Dak Moore, very explosive. Boom. Coming off the release there. Out in front of him. There he goes. There he goes. Very sudden mover. I'll definitely say that. Good ball skills. Rises up to make the play. We saw that at the Polynesian Bowl with him and Hussein Longstreet. Making big catch after big catch. I got the clips on the channel if you want to look that up. If you're an Oregon fan and you're very interested in him. He's very sudden and twitched up. He's a very twitched up wide receiver. Boom. Very twitched up off the release. Very explosive. Knows he has it inside the zone there. Good spatial awareness and no. We're getting it. Yeah, I thought I read Keelan Russell was his quarterback for a bit. Bam. These are older clips. They're all older, but some of these guys don't update their huddle clips or highlights. So, subtle sell tactics there. Tacked midline, and then he broke it off a little bit to get the edge. He plays fast. Comes to the ball. There we go. We're going. We're going. I definitely see the Brandon Cooks in him, what they're saying with the comparison. Just running routes with his hair on fire, but in a good way. But ball skills bigger than his size. And if you're younger and you don't remember the Brandon Cooks experience back in college in his early days in the NFL, that guy's a very steady wide receiver. I think he's more twitched up and more explosive, but Cooks was fast. Cooks has still got some speed for his age, but Cooks was fast. Cooks was a 4.3 guy. So you're looking at a guy with a very studly 100-meter time, very explosive. Boom. Getting it upfield. Getting it upfield, we're gone. We're gone. I know we're gone because of the speed. Oh, man. The fact that he got touched up there, though. Good angle by that dude. But we got it. We're on the outside. There he is. Bow. Right in front of him. We're good to go. We're good to go. We're up top. Ball's in the air. Making a play. He made a play like that at the Polynesian Bowl, too. All right, we're looking at 3 minutes of Kaliq Lockett. These are rounded on the last play, so it's not because I'm favoring anybody. But let me know what you think about him in the comments below. Let me know who's your favorite player of the bunch. I like them both. I know I like them both because I covered them both. There's a one-hander right there. Getting downfield. Good ball skills there. I think Texas fans, your question is Lockett versus French. Explosive after the catch. Showing some of that speed. If I'm a Texas fan, my real question is Lockett versus French. French is solid. Ball skills right there by the boundary. Downfield. He's eating that cushion, getting tight with it. There it is, good ball skills. Both of them have good ball skills downfield. Both of them are twitched up. Creating separation. There we go. Rises up to make the play. There we are. Let's ball out quick. Good concentration on that play. I don't think these guys are too far off from each other. I don't think they're too far off from each other. I think that's really my take. Attacking the midline at the release. Ball up in the air. I think career-wise, college-wise, I think it could go either way. I don't think they're too far off from each other. Here he is right down there. Route running's pretty snappy. Sold that route very well. He's down there below. You're not going to get a good look at the route, but we're going to get a look at the ball skills. Downfield, deep ball city with both these guys. Both these guys. There he is, showing it. Getting some yak, too. We're getting a lot of yak. There we go. He's got it. He's got it. He's got it. The difference between him and Dak Moore would have housed it. Balls in the air, balls in the air. Tight. They both got tremendous ball skills. It's tight between that. There it is, by the boundary with the good feet. Did not see a big enough sample of 1 versus 1 around the boundary to really get a good look. It's hard to get a good look with the high school angles anyways. I say it's tight. I say it's tight. I would want any of these two guys, honestly. I think they're both twitched up. Both break off routes well. Downfield, good concentration. Big time hands. Release packages are very twitched up and technical. You can tell these guys fine-tune their craft. They work hard on what they do to be the best at wide receiver they can be. You can definitely tell they put time in the offseason and can't. Look at the balance. Look at the balance. Looking at these two wide receivers, it's tight. It's tight between the two, and they're deserving of 1 versus 2 in the rankings for sure. When I look at collegiate career, I think both of them are in okay spots. Both these two teams are going to compete big time, and it's just two good wide receivers. And the thing about wide receivers is that you're going to get a bunch of them in every recruiting class. The difference between the two is really not that much. You got a little bit difference in size, a little bit difference in speed. Both of them have good ball skills downfield. Both of them have speed after the catch. Dak Moore has more speed after the catch. It's hard to match that. There are some wide receivers that match that, but they don't have everything else. They're both very twitched up. They both create separation without the break. They attack midline and sell their routes very well. I like Dak Moore a little bit when it comes to a little bit of everything. When it comes to the skill of being able to break off routes, create separation, get downfield, yards after the catch with that speed. I think that separates him, but it's not by much. I'm talking about like a razor edge when it comes to talent. And on top of that, that explosiveness and how he can get in and out and how assertive he is out of his breaks is something that could allow him to be transcendent up towards the NFL level. Kaliq Lockett has an NFL level upside as well. It's just we're looking at a different level of wide receivers here where they're just right at the top end. And they're both vastly good. And it's hard to really pick one over the other. They're both so good. Both of them good hands. Both of them good body control. Both of them good ball skills downfield. Both of them can bring in tough contested catches downfield when it's a YOLO ball from the quarterback. Both of them are good. Texas is getting two good wide receivers. Like I said, talking about Lockett, for Texas fans, it's not Lockett versus Moore. It's Lockett versus French and some other players. They also got a good tight end in this class that's underrated. Texas is building a good program here. Oregon lost a wide receiver as well. They lost Dallas Wilson, who was going to go to Oregon, who flipped to Florida. So they would have been in the same situation as well. But what I like about Moore is what I saw at the Polynesian Bowl is this guy has the potential to dominate, take over games, highly productive, has big-time upside. And he does have that Brandon Cooks look to him when he is breaking off routes. That is probably a clear-cut comp for him. It might change over time, but it makes sense. When I look at Lockett, he looks like a guy that can climb the depth chart at Texas and be a key focal point to the team. Who do you like better? I want to hear about that. Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.